Hello and welcome back to another edition of Filterless Freestyle Fridays. I didn't say 5 minutes this time because I don't know if I'm going to get this in on 5 minutes. I'm over my last 4. But anyway, I'm your host, author Matt D. Talford, author of the multiple award-winning book, From Fear to Faith, A Survivor Story, which will illustrate for you in very vivid detail how mindset can help you to overcome the worst of circumstances. All right? So you can check it out now on Kindle or iBooks. And the links are in the description below. Now, let's move on from that. And also, for those of you that know me from Maddie's Rap, this is what I do on Fridays. This is where I just kind of just go freestyle on Fridays and just drop something that has been on my mind or whatever. So anyway, Filterless Freestyle Fridays. Not 5 minutes because I don't know if it's going to get in under 5 minutes. I'm Matt D. Talford. Now, what are we talking about today? We're talking about the 3 things that are really the only 3 things of any real value, or only 3 things that are really worth anything in all of creation. All right. So you can take your money, throw that out of the window. Why throw money out of the window, Matt? Well, because money is only as good as somebody accepting it. So it doesn't have any real value. All right. So diamonds, all of that stuff, none of that stuff really has any real value. That's all perceived value. Clothes, cars, whatever, houses, that's perceived value. There are only 3 things in all of creation that have any real value, any real worth. And I'm going to detail them for you right now. Number 1, land. Land is number 1, all right? Why is land number 1? Why is land the most valuable thing in all of creation? Because you need land to sustain life. If you don't have land, you cannot sustain life. If you've got, well, I should say fertile land, all right? Let's be a little bit more specific. Fertile land. I'm not talking about a lot, 10 acres of sand in the middle of the Sahara Desert. That's not what I'm talking about, all right? Fertile land, all right? So fertile land is necessary, is a requirement to sustain life. With fertile land, what comes with that is the ability to produce food. All right. With fertile land is a fresh water source somewhere. All right. You need food and you need water. All right. With land, fertile land, you've got some type of trees, some type of top cover, whatever. If you got land that has mountains or whatever, you've got caves, you got strongholds, whatever. You have everything if you have fertile land, all right? So land is the number 1 most valuable resource there is. If I give you money in exchange for land, and that money or that monetary unit or whatever, that currency is devalued after you get it, guess who's the wealthy person? I am with the land, all right? I can give you $80 billion for an acre. I know that sounds ridiculous, but guess what? If a day after our real estate transaction closes and I got the 1 acre and you got the $80 billion and the economy tanks and the value of that dollar goes to 0, then you got 80 billion sheets of paper that are worthless. That you probably, well, they might be worth something. You might be able to use them as a fuel source for heat. You might be able to burn them for heat. All right. But guess what? You're going to have to come to me. You're going to have to come right back to me and ask me if you can get some land. Ask me or ask me if you can get some of the food or whatever that's growing on my land, or ask me if you can hunt whatever animals are running around on my land. If you need to eat whatever you need, whatever. And this ain't for you PETA people out there. I'm not trying to whatever. I mean, but let the, you know what, hit the fan. Hey, you know what? Let me stop. I'm not, even though this is filterless, I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. Land is the number 1 most valuable resource. All right. Why? Land you can produce. All right. You can produce, you got shelter. If you got land, you got the ability to produce food. If you have fertile land, you got a fresh water source somewhere. If you got land, everything else that comes with that is gravy. All right. You got the ability to produce and sustain life. Number 2, manpower. Manpower. Why? Real simple. Manpower is required to possess land. You need manpower to explore land, 1. Number 2, you need manpower to seize or acquire land. Number 3, you need manpower to defend that land that you have ownership of. And number 4, you need manpower to work the land, to plant food, to harvest food, to cut down trees to build shelter, to acquire or to find a way to bring in fresh water for drinking or whatever. You need manpower to work that land, all right? So and again, of course, I already mentioned acquiring land, exploring land, and defending land. So you got to have manpower. Manpower is the number 2 most valuable resource in all of creation. And last but not least, number 3, the third most valuable, and this isn't in any specific order, so ladies, don't you, why he put me at number 3? All right. I gave it away what I just said that. Number 3 is women. Women is the third most valuable resource in all creation. And really, you could kind of put it at number 2, or number 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand. But I just separated them in that order because that's kind of how we're looked at in life. I mean, we're looked at as separate entities, even though the combination of the two, the joining of the two, can produce more. Now, I just gave it away. Why are women the third most valuable resource? Because you need women to reproduce manpower. If you don't have women, then you cannot reproduce manpower. Reproduce, all right? If you don't have women, you cannot reproduce manpower. If you don't have manpower, you cannot acquire land and hold on to it. I mean, you might be able to acquire it, a little piece of it, and maybe be able to work it or get something off of it. But guess what? They say there's strength in numbers. So if there's more manpower that doesn't want you on that land, now you got a problem. Well, how am I going to get food? How am I going to eat? What ends up happening is, hey, you know what? You want to eat, you want food, you come here and be my slave. You come work for me, and I'll make sure you eat. Or you come join my army and help me acquire more land. Or you come join my army and help me defend this land, and I'll let you eat. That's really the essence of life, if you think about it, all right? So, number 1 is land. You got it. With land, you have the ability to sustain life and to produce. Number 2, manpower. With manpower, you have the ability to explore, to acquire, to defend, and to work land. And last but certainly not least, number 3, women. You need women to reproduce manpower. All right? And I was listening to some, you know what? I'm not going to get into politics. I'm not going to get into politics, but you need women. You got to have women to reproduce manpower. So every other thing doesn't matter. Every other thing does not matter. Gold, silver, rubies, money, all of that stuff comes from land. All right. All of that comes from land. All of those are precious metals that are within land. But those are also things that are perceived value. Don't believe me? Ask the Aboriginal Americans that gave up Manhattan Island. They gave up something that had value for something that had no value. All right. That's what's called the okie doke. They got the okie doke. So anyway, listen, guys, I would love to hear your feedback. I'd love to hear your comments. If you haven't done so already, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Hit the thumbs up button. And if you have not done so already, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I'm dropping some more jewels. All right. And last but not least, please share this video and share this channel with people that you think that are like-minded, that might enjoy having a conversation around the content that I drop. So I try to drop thought-provoking content. Most of what I drop is scripture, but every now and then I'll go off the scriptures and talk about other things. I might talk about sports. Very rarely will I talk about politics. I might talk about social issues very rarely or whatever. But anyway, let me get off this video because if I do so now, I might be able to rename this to Filterless Freestyle, 10-minute Filterless Freestyle Friday. So let me see if I can get this thing in under 10 minutes. Listen, guys, again, I'm a writer. I love it when people read what I write. So if you want to read the free stuff I write, you can check out my blog at www.mdtalford.com. And if you want to read what I've published, there will be some links in the description box below if you're watching this on YouTube. If somehow this makes it to Facebook and you want to watch it, or you want those links, hit me up. Send me a DM or whatever. But last but not least, there'll be some thumbnails for the 3 books that I've published. I got 2 others in the works, but we'll talk about that later. And in the meantime, listen, guys, tell somebody you love them and mean it. More importantly, show it. It's one thing to say I love you. It's something completely different to show it. All right. Anybody can say I love you and, not show it. But on the flip side, you can show somebody you love them and not tell them. And that it doesn't mean that you love them any less because you've done it through your actions. You guys have a great weekend. Oh, and by the way, this shirt right here. No righteous man is ever offended by truth. If the truth offends you, examine your heart. True words, all right? You can get this t-shirt at www.talfordarts.com. I'll also throw a link to where you can purchase this shirt in the description box below. Thank you, guys. This has been another edition of Filterless Freestyle Fridays. I'm Matt T. Talford, and enjoy your weekend.